out of here.
Ceremoniously booted from hit shows at the peak of their popularity. Well, today we're counting down 10 actors who took a big gamble by leaving primetime success and a few who didn't exactly leave by choice. Now, before we get into it, go ahead and like and subscribe if you love retro TV as much as we do. It really helps the channel, and it's way easier than convincing a TV exec to double your salary. Just ask some of these folks in the video. Alright, let's dive in with number 10, Valerie Harper. Valerie and the Hogan Family.
Life is such a sweet insanity. The more you learn, the less you know.
Okay, kicking off our list is Valerie Harper, the only person to get fired from her own sitcom and still come out a winner. You thought your family dinners were awkward? Well, imagine getting written out of your own show like an inconvenient houseplant.
There's some fresh fruit if you want anything.
Nah, I'm still on my diet.
It's the nicest conversation they've had all week.
Valerie, later rebranded as the Hogan Family, premiered in 1986 with Harper playing the slightly neurotic but endlessly lovable Valerie Hogan, a role that felt like a natural evolution from her iconic turn as Rhoda Morgenstern on Rhoda and the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Harper brought her signature wit and just the right amount of eye-rolling to the role, and the show quickly found its suburban groove. This show also had some major star power from the beginning, including a young Jason Bateman as Valerie's son David Hogan, and veteran actress Edie McClurg as neighbor Mrs. Poole.
Is this chicken up for grabs?
Yes.
How about this pie?
Take it.
But in 1987, Harper tried to play hardball, demanding a major salary bump and a cut of the show's syndication profits. In response, the producers basically said nice try, and promptly fired her, writing her character off in a shocking off-screen car accident, the TV equivalent of changing the locks and pretending you never lived there. Instead of pulling the plug, the producers brought in Sandy Duncan as the boys' relentlessly chipper Aunt Sandy, and the show was renamed The Hogan Family. Somehow the show managed to hold on for 4 more seasons, proving that if your ensemble is strong enough, you can swap out the main character and keep the lights on. Harper, meanwhile, sued the show's producers for wrongful termination and breach of contract, eventually winning a multi-million-dollar settlement, a rare case of someone actually getting the last laugh in Hollywood. She went on to more TV, movies, stage roles, and guest spots, reminding everyone why she was a beloved TV icon in the first place. Number 9, Topher Grace, That 70s Show. Now, if you were channel surfing from 1998 to 2006, there's a good chance you stumbled on That 70s Show, the sitcom that brought bell-bottoms, basement hangouts, and questionable 70s slang back into the spotlight. Topher Grace starred as Eric Foreman, the sarcastic, awkward everyman with his deadpan delivery and perpetual "why am I friends with these people" energy. Topher anchored a cast that included Ashton Kutcher as dim-witted Kelso, Mila Kunis as spoiled Jackie, and Laura Prepon as the no-nonsense Donna.
How long's the curfew?
About 1 minute. Now, Donna, I'm not bragging, but if you're properly motivated, I can actually do it in that amount of time.
But by the end of season 7, Topher decided it was time to swap bell-bottoms for big-screen roles, leaving the show to pursue a film career. His exit was handled in classic sitcom fashion. Eric was shipped off to Africa to find himself, because apparently the writers thought a guy who once built a Death Star out of Legos would just up and become a global wanderer. With Grace now gone, the show limped through a rough final season, awkwardly trying to fill the void with a new character named Randy, played by Josh Myers, and yes, that is the younger brother of SNL's Seth Meyers.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Randy. I work at Hyde's record store, go to college part-time.
And if you don't remember Randy, don't worry, neither do most of the viewers. The series wrapped in 2006, with most fans agreeing it should have ended when Eric first hopped that flight to the Serengeti. Number 8, Delta Burke, Designing Women. Coming in at number 8, we have Delta Burke, the Southern belle who got fired from one of the sharpest sitcoms of the 80s after a behind-the-scenes battle that was messier than a butter-soaked biscuit at a Sunday brunch. Designing Women ran for 7 seasons from 1986 to 1993, following the lives of 4 outspoken women running an interior design firm in Atlanta. Burke played Suzanne Sugarbaker, a former beauty queen turned self-proclaimed steel magnolia with a taste for luxury and a talent for delivering some of the show's most hilariously self-absorbed one-liners.
Big and beautiful.
Well, thank you very much, Mary Jo, for the hot tip. I just don't think I need to patronize any store that would call itself by that thing, but since you think it's such a good idea, why don't we just go all the way and start shopping at Fat and Fabulous?
She was the kind of character who'd wear a fur coat to a barbecue and then complain about the mosquitoes. But as the show's success grew, so did the tension behind the scenes. Burke famously clashed with the show's creators, Linda Bloodworth Thomason and Harry Thomason, over long working hours, creative control, and what Burke described as a hostile work environment. The tabloid zeroed in on her weight gain, but the real drama ran much deeper. A mix of bruised egos, power struggles, and enough on-set sniping to fill a Southern Gothic novel. Things came to a head in 1991 when Burke was abruptly fired from the show. In Hollywood, creative differences is code for this relationship has become totally unsalvageable, and this one was no exception. Designing Women limped through 2 more seasons without her and Jean Smart, who also left at the beginning of season 6, but it never quite regained its original spark. It's like a casserole that's been reheated one too many times. After her departure, Burke headlined the country-themed sitcom Delta in 1992, which tried to capitalize on her Southern charm, but struggled to find an audience and was canceled after just 1 season. Burke eventually reunited with the Thomasons for the Designing Women spin-off, Women of the House, in 1995, bringing Suzanne Sugarbaker back to TV as a brash, politically incorrect congressional widow.
Do you see these, Nadine? It's Natalie, and no, I didn't. Oh, these are lovely. Lovely? Are you kidding? They're a heck of a lot more than that. They're handy as hell.
But despite the high-profile reunion, the show struggled to find its footing and was canceled after just 1 season, with the final 4 episodes airing on Lifetime after CBS pulled the plug. Burke continued to make guest appearances on TV over the years, but she never quite recaptured her Designing Women glory days. Number 7, John Amos, Good Times. Man, who could forget that theme song? Anyway, coming in at number 7, we have John Amos, the man who played one of TV's toughest, loving, most dedicated dads before getting fired for being a little too honest about his own show.
Sheen, a gorgeous hunk of woman here.
Good Times ran for 6 seasons from 1974 to 1979 and broke ground as one of the first sitcoms to focus on a Black American family. John Amos played the hard-working James Evans Sr. and skillfully balanced the show's humor with real-life struggles. But Amos's commitment to authentic storytelling eventually put him at odds with the show's producers. As the series went on, he grew frustrated with the shift toward broader, more cartoonish humor. Who can forget Jimmy Walker's catchphrase?
Kid, dynamite!
Yeah, well, John Amos didn't like that either. He felt the show was losing its focus on the real-world struggles of a working-class family, and he wasn't shy about saying so. Apparently, the producers didn't appreciate the feedback because in 1976, they killed off his character in a brutal off-screen car accident, a writing choice that felt less like a creative decision and more like a TV grudge match.
Damn!
Without Amos, Good Times lost the emotional backbone that had grounded its comedy in real-world struggles. Esther Roll, who played his on-screen wife Florida Evans, also walked away after season 4, fed up with the show's shift toward goofier storylines. She eventually returned for the final season, but by then, the damage was done. The show never fully recovered without its original power couple. Amos went on to have a successful career in Roots, Coming to America, and shows like The West Wing and The District. He later admitted that more diplomacy might have kept him on Good Times, eventually patching things up with creator Norman Lear, and even starring in Lear's short-lived 704 Hauser. We actually covered that show in our Forgotten 90s Spin-Offs video, so you should check it out. Number 6, Michael J. Fox, Spin City. Alright, coming in at number 6 is Michael J. Fox, a sitcom legend who walked away from a hit show for all the right reasons. Spin City ran for 6 seasons from 1996 to 2002 and followed the chaotic lives of New York City's mayoral staff, with Fox playing the fast-talking, quick-witted deputy mayor Mike Flaherty. It was a return to form for the Family Ties alum, and his razor-sharp comedic timing helped make the show a hit.
This guy, Owen was my mentor. He taught me everything I know about politics. How to campaign, how to manipulate the press. Most importantly, how to motivate people. So when he gets here, I want you guys to all, do stuff.
Fox racked up 4 Emmy nominations and 1 win for the role, cementing his legacy as a small-screen legend. But behind the scenes, Fox was battling Parkinson's disease, which he announced publicly in 1998. He even playfully discussed it on a memorable episode of The David Letterman Show a few weeks later.
It's good. It was it's something that I've had for a long time, like 7 or 8 years, and I hadn't really told many people about it. And people were saying to me, how could you keep that a secret? And I thought, I didn't really think of it as a secret. It's like, who among us goes, hi, I'm Bob, I have gout.
By the show's 4th season, the symptoms had become too difficult to manage alongside a hit network sitcom. In 2000, Fox announced his departure, making way for one of the most emotional goodbyes in TV history. His final episodes blended humor with heartfelt moments, and if you didn't tear up a little bit during that farewell scene, you might want to check for a pulse. Following Fox's exit, the show continued for 2 more seasons, with Charlie Sheen stepping in as the new lead.
Who's Samantha?
She's a friend from my yoga class.
Really? You never mentioned her. What, are you hiding her from me? You're hiding her from me.
The tone shifted, and while the show remained a modest success, it never quite recaptured the same magic without Fox at the center. Fox went on to focus on his health and advocacy work, founding the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. He later returned to TV with guest spots on shows like The Good Wife and Scrubs, proving his resilience in the industry. If there was ever a class on how to exit a show with grace and dignity, Fox would be the professor. And since you're still here, you might as well hit that like button and subscribe. We promise we won't leave. Now let's continue our countdown with number 5, Farrah Fawcett, Charlie's Angels. Sliding into our number 5 spot is Farrah Fawcett, the poster girl for 1970s cool, who bailed on Charlie's Angels after just 1 season despite being the breakout star of the show. Charlie's Angels ran for 5 seasons from 1976 to 1981, following 3 private detectives who took down bad guys with a mix of glamour, action, and perfectly feathered hair. Fawcett's character, Jill Monroe, became an instant icon, thanks in part to that famous red swimsuit poster. The one that ended up on the walls of roughly 12 million teenage bedrooms and an unknown number of bachelor pads. She helped turn Charlie's Angels into a pop culture phenomenon, cementing the show's place in TV history. But despite the show's massive success, Fawcett decided to leave after just 1 season to pursue a film career. Unfortunately, her first big screen outing, Somebody Killed Her Husband, tanked so hard that critics jokingly renamed it Somebody Killed Her Career. The producers weren't exactly thrilled about losing their biggest star and promptly sued her for breach of contract. Fawcett eventually agreed to return for a few guest appearances in seasons 3 and 4 to settle the dispute, proving that hell hath no fury like a TV producer scorned. The show soldiered on without her, adding Cheryl Ladd as Jill's younger sister Chris to fill the blonde bombshell void. And while Charlie's Angels managed to pull strong ratings for a few more seasons, it gradually lost steam before wrapping up after its 5th season. Fawcett eventually found her true calling in more serious dramatic roles, earning critical acclaim and multiple Emmy and Golden Globe nominations for powerful performances in TV movies like The Burning Bed, a brutal, gut-wrenching film that reminded everyone just how much range she had beyond feathered hair and that famous smile. Sadly, Fawcett passed away in 2009, but her legacy as a TV icon and pop culture phenomenon endures. Number 4, Suzanne Somers, Three's Company.
Come and knock on our door. Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you.
Sliding into the number 4 spot is Suzanne Somers, who brought the perfect mix of innocence and comic timing to Three's Company as the lovably clueless Chrissy Snow.
Well, this is typical getting a girl pregnant. Only a man would do a thing like that.
Three's Company ran for 8 seasons from 1977 to 1984 and followed 3 roommates sharing an apartment, with the guy pretending to be gay to satisfy their landlord's lease rules. Nothing odd about this at all. Somers' portrayal of Kirstie helped make the show a massive hit, turning her into one of TV's biggest stars practically overnight, but by the 5th season, Somers and her husband-manager Alan Hamill decided it was time for a significant pay bump. Specifically, she wanted to go from $30,000 per episode to $150,000, putting her on par with her co-star John Ritter. It was a bold move, especially in an era when female TV stars were often paid a fraction of their male counterparts. The network, however, wasn't having it. They rejected her demands, and when Somers started missing tapings as a negotiation tactic, they retaliated by writing her off the show, banishing Kirstie to Fresno to care for her sick mother. She would literally just phone in her lines.
Hello? Hello, Janet. Oh, I'm so glad you're up.
The fallout wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. Somers' co-stars Joyce DeWitt and John Ritter felt blindsided by the contract dispute and the ensuing media frenzy. As a result, Somers didn't speak to either of them for decades, and it wasn't until 2003 that she reconciled with Ritter, shortly before his untimely death, and in 2012 she and DeWitt reunited on Somers' talk show, finally putting their differences to rest.
Yeah. Are your parents still alive?
They are.
Uh-huh.
They're like 84 and 85.
You still go back to Indiana?
Yes, because my parents are there.
Uh-huh.
Three's Company continued without Somers, and while the show managed to stay in the top 20 for most of its run, it never quite recaptured the same spark. Somers, meanwhile, reinvented herself as a fitness icon, becoming the face of the Thigh Master, the infomercial sensation that turned her into a 90s pop culture fixture.
I used to do aerobics till I dropped, then I found Thigh Master.
She even found TV success again with Step by Step, proving that even if Hollywood shows you the door, you can still hop back through the window and make a fortune, with brains, a little creativity, and a pair of toned quads. Sadly, Somers passed away in 2023, but her legacy as a TV icon and fitness trailblazer endures. Number 3, David Caruso, NYPD Blue. Sliding into the top 3, we have David Caruso, known for one of the most infamous TV exits in history. NYPD Blue ran for 12 seasons from 1993 to 2005, pushing the boundaries of network television with its gritty storylines, complex characters, and just enough bare backsides to make parents dive for the remote. Caruso played Detective John Kelly, a cool, confident, no-nonsense cop who quickly became the show's breakout star.
Wait a minute. You are going to take her out in front of them?
His intense performances and laser-focused stare helped NYPD Blue earn critical acclaim right out of the gate, with Caruso even picking up a Golden Globe for his work in the first season.
And the winner is...
David Caruso.
Thank you.
But then Caruso did what so many rising TV stars do. He let his ego write checks his career couldn't cash. After just one season, he demanded a massive salary increase, reportedly asking for $100,000 per episode, a cut of syndication profits, and perks that would make even a movie star blush. The network balked, and Caruso, convinced he was on the verge of movie stardom, walked away. His last appearance was in Season 2, Episode 4, Dead and Gone. Unfortunately for Caruso, his big screen ambition hit a wall. His first film, post-NYPD Blue, Kiss of Death in 1995, barely made a ripple at the box office, and his follow-up, Jade, also in 1995, was a critical and commercial flop. Instead of becoming the next big thing, Caruso quickly found himself in career freefall. Meanwhile, NYPD Blue soldiered on for another 11 seasons, with Jimmy Smits stepping in as the show's new leading man.
Morning. Let's go.
Many fans would argue that Smits' character Bobby Simone was just as compelling, if not more so, than Caruso's John Kelly, proving that no one is truly irreplaceable, not even the king of the dramatic pause. Caruso eventually found his way back to TV with CSI Miami, which became a massive hit and cemented his place in pop culture history with his signature one-liners and sunglasses moments. So in the end, he got his comeback, but not quite the way he imagined. Number 2, Christopher Maloney, Law & Order SVU. Coming in at number 2 is Christopher Maloney, the actor who walked away from one of TV's most successful procedural dramas after more than a decade as Detective Elliot Stabler. Law & Order SVU premiered in 1999 and is still running today, finishing up season 26 on May 15th of 2025. Maloney played Detective Elliot Stabler, a passionate, sometimes volatile cop with a tendency to get a little too personally invested in cases.
Are we really going to do this dance again, huh? I mean, what do you want me to say? That I fantasized about killing the perp?
Did you?
Yeah, you're damn right I did. And this time, I fed him my gun and I pulled that trigger.
His chemistry with co-star Mariska Hargitay, who played his partner Olivia Benson, helped make the show a ratings powerhouse.
What do we got? White male, 30s, with this tat around his neck.
For 12 seasons, Maloney brought a raw intensity to the role, tackling some of the darkest storylines on network TV. But in 2011, after contract negotiations broke down over salary disputes, Maloney abruptly exited the show. Unlike some of the other stars on our list, he didn't get a dramatic on-screen farewell. His character was simply written off between seasons, with viewers told that Stabler had retired from the force after a shooting incident. It was a jarring departure that left fans feeling like they'd been ghosted by a close friend. SVU continued without him, bringing in a rotating cast of new detectives to work alongside Hargitay. And while the show has remained successful and is now the longest-running primetime live-action series in TV history, many diehard fans still felt the hole left by Maloney's departure. Maloney returned to the role of Stabler in 2021, appearing on SVU before launching his own spin-off, Law & Order Organized Crime. After a decade away, he slipped right back into the character, giving fans the reunion they'd been waiting for.
Liv, I'm sorry.
Elliot, we don't have to do this. Are you sorry for leaving? Or are you sorry for walking? For not giving me the courtesy of telling me?
That's our list of 10 TV stars who walked away or were forcibly removed from hit shows. Let us know in the comments if you think any of these actors should have stuck around, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos about your favorite retro TV shows. Hit that notification bell too so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.